Thank you for your trust in Boxstop Flyscreens. You will need the following tools to assemble your Boxstop Flyscreen: a hammer, a pencil, a pair of scissors, a metric band and a saw. First of all, check the packaging and mainly the content, so make sure that you have 2 accessory kits, the brush, caution the brush might be optional, the spline, the mesh, the fitting instruction and the profiles. So the profiles consists of 3 middle-sized profiles, two long profiles and 2 short profiles. And finally the bottom kick plate. Check the accessory kits as well and make sure that you have 2 brackets in a T-shape for the transverse profile, 1 handle, 1 doorstop, 3 hinges, 1 spring, 4 corners, and a small bag with screws and rope locks. First of all, display all the profiles face down so that you can see the groove where the mesh will be inserted. Now take at least 3 reference measurements in width, one at the bottom, one in the center and one at the top of the opening that you wish to cover. Caution, out of the 3 dimensions, note down the smallest one. To know where exactly you have to cut the profiles in width, you first have to check the yellow sticker on the packaging. We see that the sticker mentions a total width of 120 centimeters. We've previously measured 110 centimeters in width. Before doing any calculation, you first have to know whether the product has to be recess fitted or face fitted. In case the product is recess fitted, we calculate that 120 centimeters minus 110 centimeters equals 10 centimeters. You would then have to cut 10 centimeters of the profiles in width in case the product is recess fitted. However, in case the product has to be face fitted, you will have to reduce this side by 6 centimeters. In our example, 10 centimeters minus 6 centimeters equals 4 centimeters. You would then have to cut 4 centimeters of the profiles in width in case the product is face fitted. So, to summarize, if the product is recess fitted, cut 10 centimeters of the profiles in width, and if the product is face fitted, cut 4 centimeters of the profiles in width. In our example, we will consider that the product is face fitted and cut 4 centimeters of the profiles. We can now mark the 3 middle-sized profiles at 4 centimeters. We will mark the bottom kick plate at 4 centimeters as well. And we can now cut the profiles on the kick plate. Now take at least 3 reference measurements in height, one on the left side, one in the middle and one on the right side of the opening that you wish to cover. Caution, out of these 3 dimensions, note down the smallest one. To know where exactly you have to cut the profiles and height, you first have to check the yellow sticker on the packaging. We see that the sticker mentions a total height of 240 cm. We've previously measured 220 cm in height. Before doing any calculation, you first have to know whether the product has to be recess fitted or face fitted. If the product is recess fitted, we calculate that 240 cm minus 220 cm equals 20 cm. You would then have to cut 20 cm off the profiles in height in case the product is recess fitted. However, in case the product has to be face fitted, you will have to reduce this size by 6 cm. In our example, 20 cm minus 6 cm equals 14 cm. You would then have to cut 14 cm of the profiles in height in case the product is face fitted. To summarize, if the product is recess fitted, cut 20 cm of the profiles in height, and if the product is face fitted, cut 14 cm of the profiles in height. In our example, we will consider that the product is face fitted and cut 14 cm of the profiles. We will now mark the two height profiles at 14 cm. Caution, mark the two longer profiles. And we can now cut through the two profiles that we've just marked. Take now the transverse profile, the one with two grooves, and insert both T-shaped brackets. You can therefore use a hammer, but make sure not to break the plastic parts. Now take both short profiles and insert them into the brackets. Caution, make sure that the groove on the back side of the profiles is displayed towards the inside of the frame. Now take both remaining side profiles and insert them into the brackets. Caution, make sure again that the groove on the backside is displayed towards the inside of the frame. The two remaining profiles are the top profile and the bottom profile. You can then insert the corners in those profiles. And we can now insert the bottom side and the top side so that the frame remains assembled. Glide the brushes into the external groove of each profile. Caution, these brushes might be optional. Now display the mesh on the back side of the frame. Caution, before you insert the mesh, make sure that the frame is perfectly squared and maintained squared, with clamps for example. Also make sure that the clamps don't overlap the groove where the mesh will be inserted. Now you can insert the mesh into the groove thanks to the spline and the plastic insert tool. In order to assure the best tension of the mesh, we will proceed as follows. First of all, insert the spline right below the first corner. Insert it into the first profile without tensioning the mesh with your hand. When inserting the spline into the following side of the frame, don't tension the mesh with your hand either, and leave the mesh adjust its position on its own. From the third side, tension the mesh with your hand while inserting the spline, and go on tensioning and inserting the spline with the fourth side. This way you will make sure to get the best mesh tension for your fly screen. You can now cut the exceeding mesh. Make sure not to cut the spline, therefore we recommend you cut right over the spline. And you can now repeat the mesh insertion procedure for the second half of the door. You can now fix the bottom kick plate to the backside of the fly screen thanks to the provided self-threading screws. You can also fix the handle to the transverse profile. Before fixing the hinges, first check if the product will be face fitted or recess fitted. In both cases we will fix one hinge at each end and one hinge in the center. Caution, make sure to fix the top and bottom hinge at least 10 cm of the very end of the profile. Now take the top side of each hinge. In case the product is face fitted, fix the top side of the hinge to the side of the profile. And in case the product is recess fitted, fix the hinge to the front side of the profile. In case the product is recess fitted, fix the bottom side of the hinges into the reveal. In this case, you can choose to fix the spring either frontally to the wall or in the reveal. And you can now fit the product. In case the product is fitted frontally, fix the bottom part of each hinge frontally to the wall. Fix the spring frontally as well, so that the spring always pressures the transverse profile. Now fix the doorstop frontally or into the reveal depending on the fitting type of the fly screen. Your fly screen is now fitted. Always use a wet cloth to clean your box-top fly screen. You can also clean the profiles with alcohol to remove strong stains. Thank you for your trust in box-top fly screens.